The first slide, I'll just kind of talk about how we got going, and then I'll end it off because it's a lot more exciting to hear from the kids than to hear from me. So anyway, we had a very environmentally conscious community. We live just southwest of us is the Meridian Wind Farm. And so we're very conscious about wind energy and energy efficiency measures. We also, for a long time, we've had a recycling program that's very intense for the community, and so we're really pleased about that. We also have an arboretum, and not only do we have wind energy close by in Concordia, but a lot of the professors from that wind energy center, and they teach individuals how to work on these wind energy turbines. They actually live in our community, so we're very well versed in that. And so that was kind of the catalyst for change. Wind Train came in and did an energy audit. It was very interesting where we took this. So I'm going to hand this off to Laura, and then they're going to actually switch back and forth and talk about certain things, and then talk about pictures up here.
Okay, this whole project just started this fall after that energy audit. Mr. McCart's only been here since June. We've started all this stuff since he came. The first step was getting the wind turbine. Mr. McCart applied for a Green Schools grant that was about $9,000 to pay for the entire turbine. That just paid for the turbine, but there was also a lot of expenses putting it in. So we got the community, the city of Clyde, that first picture there, they donated their backhoe, and their city workers actually dug the hole for us. Cement was donated by a local business. Local contractors put in the cement, laid the foundation for it. The people we bought it from actually put it up for free, and then it only saves the district about $50 a month, which doesn't seem like that great benefit. But we get benefits other ways. We have an educational benefit. I know just in my class, our senior class, we have 30 kids, and 3 of those kids are going into the wind energy program at Clyde County Community College. So for them to be learning about this and have that head start really helps. We also got the benefit of a lot of good publicity for our school. It shows our school in a very positive light. WIBW featured us, all the local newspapers featured us, we get on the radio all the time, and we get to do presentations like this.
Hi, I'm Dylan Cook. As you can see up there, in addition to our wind turbine, adjacent we had a solar-powered water pump. This water pump we'll use for various activities. Predominantly, we plan to eventually fit it so we can water a football field without using water from the city. Another thing we're considering is using it for our hydroponic watering system in our greenhouse, which we'll elaborate on later. This is all possible due to Prairie Line Electric, which donated the water pump valued around $3,500. However, it would be good to point out that Prairie Line Electric has a monopoly on electricity in the area, and so we're actually paying them $3,500 a month instead of next year for a reduced rate. Another good thing we got out of this project was the donation to have the water drilling done. It would actually cost more than this, but Associated Drilling was very nice and did the drilling at cost to them. Once we had this all done, and this kind of all in a pad, if you can perhaps see at the base of the wind tower, we have a small garden with various sorts of flowers. Lowe's and Walmart did the donations for all those plants, and that was a really good opportunity to get everybody in our school involved, from Future Business Leaders of America to National Honor Society, FBLA. They all got together and we did the kind of landscaping and planted all these flowers. I'm going to turn back to Trevor.
I'm Trevor Barnes, and I think it's really exciting the way that this relates into educating not only the students but also the public of our community. We were able to go out, the Stuco organization was able to go out during halftime of the games, and they went out and they actually were able to educate the students and the public about our wind energy and also the solar power pump that was installed there. And then other than that, we also had a wind energy day, which incorporated the whole school district, well, not district, the high school, but the district not only had the students there, but it also had local politicians and lawmakers and some other outstanding public figures in the community come to this. And we were able to see a lot of good presentations, and we were able to learn a lot about it. And I think it was really beneficial, and it really sparked interest. And this is kind of how we got on our way. After that, we went out to actual wind farms. We went out to a local farmer, and we saw his own personal wind farm. And he had 2 wind generators there. And then after that, we went out to the Meridian Way, the wind generators out there, and that was great to see. We saw a presentation on their technology inside of the lab, but also we went out to the generator. And like I said, there are some people in our class that are interested in energy. It really was able to kind of get them on their way for their careers.
After everyone in the community saw what we were doing, we had businesses interested in donating even more to us because, you know, they always wanted to have a good name in the community. So Robinson Solar Systems donated a solar panel worth about $1,500 or $1,700 to the high school. And if you can see this picture, that's the entryway to our high school, and it just sits right above it. It powers the lights that are in that entryway, and also it's so relevant in our school. It shows that our community and our school are open to these kind of green opportunities.
Mr. Ricard has been extremely busy applying for grants this year. Due to some of his efforts, we've managed to supply 5 grants which funded our greenhouse program. We're fortunate enough to have 2 greenhouses, one for our high school and one at our middle school. Not only did we get larger corporations, but we also have some local companies that volunteer their services as well. The construction on these projects we expect to start in early spring. Inside of our greenhouses, in addition to the hydroponic watering systems we plan to implement, we've got a grant from the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks. The Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks is interested in putting in an aquaculture system with various native Kansas invertebrates and also possibly some catfish. Anything that we do with this in the realm of our biology departments or our ag departments, we will also aid in the greenhouse activities as well. The nitrogenous waste we skim out and filter out of the aquaculture system will be used to fertilize not only our greenhouse, but possibly our garden as well. So it's kind of a symbiotic relationship. One thing that Mr. Kovic talked about earlier was funding all of these new green programs. The great thing about this is the waste from our one program will go to help out the other. So we're trying to work towards sustaining educational programs.